Hello, everyone. I'm Mrs. Patel Dame. Whether you're joining us remotely or in person, I'm so excited to have you in chemistry this year. I'm part of the most amazing science department in the North Country, if not probably the entire world, right? We are so happy to have you guys back, and we're dedicated to making sure that you guys stay safe and happy and healthy this year. So, a little bit about me. I am from South Jersey, so the really pretty part down here. I went to Virginia Tech for undergrad for environmental science and chemistry, as well as political science. After undergrad, I moved back to New Jersey and worked for the Department of Environmental Protection and was an AmeriCorps member, so it was a really amazing experience to serve my community. This is my husband, Paul. You'll hear about him a lot. This is my little kitty cat, Smokey, and she is just a wonderful little cat and is a great snuggler. This summer, I did a lot of gardening, so you might see some pictures posted about that. And I enjoy hiking as well. So, first things first, how I'm keeping you safe. Chemistry is inherently, we have risks that are involved with chemistry. So, it's been a natural part of my career to be able to make sure I keep my students safe when it comes to working with different chemicals in lab. So, the first thing I always have students do is to know their procedures and the safety data sheets. That's pretty much a sheet on every single chemical to let you know how to work with it safely. Our students always wear goggles here in Chem Lab. They always wipe down their tables and wash their hands. So that, again, is an inherent part of our lab, and it's an easy crossover to what we're going to be doing this year as well. I always have classroom safety as my number one concern. So my door is actually always locked. So in case there's an emergency, I can easily close it and keep you guys protected. This year, we're adding some new safety precautions. Don't you miss that bell, by the way? So we will be wiping our desks when we walk into the room. Washing our hands, we have 7 sinks and 7 soaps and 7 sets of paper towels. So we will be able to make sure that your hands stay washed. I know a lot of people love hand sanitizer, especially alcohol-based hand sanitizer. It's good and effective when you don't have running water near you. Also, as a chemistry class, we do work with fire, and alcohol and fire do not mix well. So we will be avoiding alcohol-based hand sanitizers here and instead washing our hands. We're going to be outdoors as much as possible, so please make sure that you wear your sunscreen. Hats are welcome, for me at least, until I know if they may not be. But anything to keep yourself protected from the sun. We are going to be spaced 6 feet apart, so you can kind of see the desks all around me. We also will be utilizing the lab tables as well. And this is just a little shot of that as well. We will be wearing masks at all times. I'm here alone in my classroom, but I still want to make sure that I have my mask on at all times because that is our number one way of making sure that we keep this virus contained. So we will be teaching you guys the proper ways of wearing masks and the importance too in case you need that evidence. I've also purchased an air filter for our air purifier, for our classroom as well. Luckily, as a chemistry classroom, we have a lot of really good ventilation here. But I just wanted to add one more pretty much safety precaution, or one more unit of, something to keep you guys, again, extra safe. So our schedule is very confusing this year, and if you have any questions, by all means, please let me know. So this is an example of a typical week. On Monday, if this were a single period, it might be a double period, just depends on your class. Mondays and Tuesdays will always be A days. Thursdays and Fridays will always be B days. Wednesdays will switch between A and B day. On Mondays, Cohort 1 will come in first. They will be in class and they will be doing a lesson. Cohort 2, which is typically the end of the alphabet, but you guys might have switched and that's cool. They will be at home doing a remote lesson, and that lesson will be posted around 8 a.m. Tuesday, we're switching the 2 cohorts. So the second cohort, who was at home the day before, will be coming into school. Or if you are virtual, by all means, you're still going to be part of our class as well. So just want to make sure we know that. Whereas cohort 1 will be at home remote doing their assignment. Wednesday is our unified day, so everyone will log on to Teams and we will do a lesson together. Thursday and Friday, similar to Monday and Tuesday, we switched, except these will be B days, Cohort 1 will be coming in on Thursdays. Cohort 2 will be remote that day, working independently, and then they get switched for Fridays. Now, if you've chosen the remote option, I still want you guys to make sure that you're logged into Teams during our class time because I will have you guys be working with us live, essentially, and that way you don't miss any materials. We also will be working in groups, and so your group will be working with you at that time. So our expectation for Tuesday, in case you're not aware, Cohort 2 will be coming in person. They'll be going through their periods 1 through 9-day. In that, we will talk about rules and expectations, their how-tos, and we will be also talking about teams, so make sure you bring your computer. The remote learners, those are the of you that are going to be working remotely, you'll still log into Teams at our class time, and I will invite you to join our class via Teams and with a video conference. Cohort 1, which is typically the beginning of the alphabet, will be checking Teams starting at 8 a.m. for our assignment, and that will be due later on that evening. On Wednesday, everyone will be logging into Teams during class time. So about 5 minutes before class, make sure you're in Teams. You'll see a little icon that says Mrs. Patel Dame has invited you to join the meeting. Go ahead and join that meeting. And we'll all be there doing a lesson together. On Thursday, it's similar to, it's pretty much switched with what Tuesday was. So Cohort 1 will be going through the live synchronous, as we call it, lessons. So if you are in person, again, you're through your period 1 through 9-day. We'll go through the rules and expectations, the how-to, and how to use Teams. Those of you that are choosing the remote option, you'll be logging into Teams at our class time, and again, I will be sending you an invite to join our meeting. Cohort 2, which is again typically the end of the alphabet, go ahead and check Teams starting at 8 a.m. for your assignment that's going to be due later on that evening. By the way, Thursday is also known as Friday Junior. This is our new bell schedule for this school year, so go ahead and take a screenshot of this. What we will be focusing in on for the first, maybe 6 weeks or so, is this particular time schedule. So make sure that you know this. It's especially important to know this when it comes to those of you that are remote learners and on Wednesdays. So if I have you for second period, for example, make sure that you're logged into Teams about 5 minutes before this, so about 9:04, and I will send you a little invite to join our virtual meeting. Those of you that are remote learners that should be in person that day, the same thing goes for you guys. And I will be wearing a wireless headset, and we will be working through the kinks on all of that. But you're still going to be a part of our class. Now, as chemists, I know many of you guys have heard chemistry is so hard. Well, it's actually not hard. It's just that we think and work a lot differently than you have in probably any of your other classes. In many of your classes, memorizing things, by memorizing things, you've probably been able to ace your courses, right? Chemistry and all of your advanced classes, especially in college, don't work that way. We don't memorize things. When we memorize, it's not like we understand it. We just it goes into our brain, we spit it out on a test, and then it leaves. Instead, what we do is we take some information, we process it, we ask questions, we analyze the data, we problem solve to figure out what is actually going on. And that helps it stick in our brains a lot more. The other thing about chemistry is that you've never seen it before, right? You can't see what the particles are doing. You just have to imagine. So when I look at my mug of tea, by the way, has a little Virginia Tech logo, Hokie Pride, I see and hear water molecules. I see the tannins from my tea. I think about the caffeine molecules. And that's what we are going to be learning how to do as chemists. So we have to see the unseeable and imagine what's going on. So again, there's a lot of trust that goes into that, and there are so many chemistry students before you that have been so successful. But if we think that we're going to be able to memorize our way through this class, it's not going to work. So we do have to put in that work in order to make sure that we are as effective as possible. The other thing is that we do work together. So depending on the size of the class, we'll have groups of 2 or 3, and we will be working together as a team. And you will have your own little section on Microsoft Teams in order to communicate with one another. If one of your partners is working remotely, you will have them join into your group using a Meet Now function, which I'll teach you guys how to do that in class as well. So we are going to, again, be working together in order to understand how the world works for chemistry. So the materials needed, if you are able to, we highly recommend you guys get your own calculators. The reason for that is because it is way too hard for me to disinfect every single calculator before the next person uses it. So I want to make sure you guys stay as safe as possible. And by you having your own calculator, it really helps with that. So if you're one of my AP students, this one is highly recommended. It has a little times 10 to the button, like right there, which I think that most AP Chem students find very, very useful. This one is recommended for Regents kids. Now, if you come into class and don't have this exact one, that is okay. We just want to make sure that you guys are comfortable with your own calculators and are able to troubleshoot things as we go through class. The biggest thing is know your own calculator, right? In order to make sure that you're the most successful at it. So again, if you are able to, if not, by all means, please let me know and we will issue you guys one. I will go out and buy one if I need to make sure that you have your own calculator. Make sure you bring your laptop with you every single day to class. We will be using that. I am trying to avoid paper, to hand out paper, just because, well, I don't want to contaminate anything, right? And of course your own pen or pencil, because in case we need that for any little activity that you might have, if you want to write something down. Usually I'm able to let you guys borrow pens and pencils. This year is going to be a little different. The materials provided. I will give you guys your own individual whiteboards. They're 12 by 16 that I went ahead and purchased and cut down for you guys. You'll also have your own whiteboard eraser and dry erase marker. We do a lot of what we call modeling in class. So like I said with the tea, when I see the water molecules, the caffeine, the tannins in here, the sugar molecules, we have to be able to draw that out to really understand what we're talking about. So whiteboarding is a really important part of our class. There is a whiteboarding function on your laptop as well, but if you're using your own personal laptop and don't have a touchscreen, whiteboard helps. Also, my former students who had the choice of the online whiteboard versus the physical, they chose the physical. They liked that better. So it's all personal preference, but that will be provided to you, and you will be bringing that to you with you every day. I will also provide a textbook for you as well. This should stay at home. I have other resources for you in class, so that textbook is heavy, and we do want to make sure that it stays in good condition, so keep it at home, please. I will also give you physical reference tables and a lab safety sheet. This will be provided on Teams as well, but sometimes it's nice to have the physical copies of this. If you are able to donate, and by no means don't feel as if you need to, but if you are, I would greatly appreciate it. Cleaning wipes, as you can understand, is in high need. I've been searching everywhere for cleaning wipes and cannot find anything. So if you are able to donate any, please, I would greatly appreciate that. This is the air filter for the purifier that I have purchased for our students. If you are able to purchase an air filter, great. If not, don't worry about it. If you have an extra calculator laying around at home or are able to purchase one for another student that might need one, this again would be greatly appreciated. Same thing with tissues and hand soap. So we prefer unscented here in our class just to avoid any allergies. I use soft soap or something similar to that. I already have all the individual bottles for them. Just the refill would be awesome. Again, if you can't, don't feel any pressure to do this. So there are several ways to connect with me. One is by using Microsoft Teams through Office 365. So you're able to join into our class. Oops. Another is via email. So this is my email address, and I also have an Instagram as well, which I need to be better at posting. There's a lot of pictures about my garden and my cat, so that's pretty much what life is right now, right? And so don't ever hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. We are in this together. If you are confused about something or frustrated or whatever, I don't know that unless you tell that to me. So please make sure that you communicate with me. There's also a chat function in Microsoft Teams. I would love if you guys would start using that. You are welcome to use that. In fact, that's actually what I prefer over email in order to communicate with me, just because everything is all in one place, and that would be convenient. So again, whether you're joining us remotely or in person, I'm so excited to work with you guys this year, and I can't wait to have just an amazing year. And don't forget, we are going to be able to do this together. Take care and have a great day.